In this demo, I'm going to show how easy it is to set up new data protection policies using the vSphere Data Protection Appliance. We've logged into vSphere Web Client, which is where we administer VDP from, and we can connect into our VDP appliance here and set up a new backup protection policy. Once we've logged in, we go across to backup. And we can see that there's actually already one policy set up, gold-30D for 30 days retention. We're going to set up another policy now. Go to Backup Job Actions and choose New. And we've got two backup policy options here. We can create a backup policy for guest image backup, so that's entire virtual machine backups, or application backups, so that's if we have Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft Exchange Server, or Microsoft SharePoint on a virtual machine. In those cases, we need to generate better than a crash consistent backup. We need to generate an application consistent backup. In this case, we're just going to generate guest image backups, so I'll leave it as that. And we'll do full image backups rather than individual virtual disks. Now I need to scroll through and select, expand through and select exactly what virtual machines I want to back up in this policy. And in this case, I'm going to select two Windows virtual machines, Win01 and Win02. Now, there's two options for where you want to send your backups to. You can back up to the storage that's allocated with the VDP virtual appliance itself, or you can back up to an external data domain. There's nothing wrong in theory with backing up to the VDP appliance itself. However, bear in mind that that's sitting on your virtual infrastructure as well. So you're backing up your virtual infrastructure to your virtual infrastructure, which is a little bit like putting all your eggs in one basket. Instead, if you back up to a data domain, that's going to be external to the rest of your virtual infrastructure, and it will give you a much greater level of protection, particularly when you consider data domains, data and vulnerability architecture. So we're going to choose the data domain storage here and hit next. Here we've got some options for what sort of backup policy we want. We can back up daily, weekly, or a particular time of the month. We're going to leave it at daily and the default start time of 8 p.m. Bear in mind, you should make sure that you adjust the start times of your various backup policies so that no two policies start at exactly the same time. We can choose here how long we actually intend to keep our backups for. This is another advantage of backing up to data domain. If you're backing up to the internal storage on the VDP appliance, you have to be very careful about managing that storage. Data domain will offer much larger levels of storage for you, and it gives you much better options for retention for those backups. We'll drop this down to 20 days here and hit next. And we might call this job Silver-20D for 20 days retention. It warns us that this process of creating the backup policy may take a couple of minutes. That's fine. It tells us that the job is actually created successfully. And now if we want to, we can actually execute the backup policy simply by selecting it, clicking Backup Now, and Backup All Sources. And that's as simple as it is to create a protection policy in VDP.